It takes 21 days to create a new habit. How many days does it take to create a new habit? 21 days. All right, now, so watch. So Earl Nightingale said this: you can study any topic for 1 hour a day for 5 years, and you can become an expert on that topic. What am I saying? I'm taking the excuse out of your hands. It takes 21 days to create a new habit. Now watch this. Most believers are willing to try something for a period of time, but they say, I've been doing this for 2 weeks and I don't see any results. And what they do is they denature. They denature. So denaturing means it's like working out. And you work out and you press weights and all that kind of stuff. And what happens is you stop doing that you've been doing it for a month and you stop doing it for a couple of weeks. And what happens is you begin to go back. It's like you have to start all over again. So if you don't denature, in 21 days, what can happen? It can change a habit to take you to the next level. All right, now, let me give you 4 steps. 4 steps. So here are 4 steps. They all begin with C, if you can put those up on the screen. So, number 1, cognitive dissonance. Number 2, confession. Number 3, consistency. Number 4, conation. So cognitive dissonance, what's that? So these are your applications. All it is mental discord. You have to understand the source of your thinking. Your home, your school, your teacher, your friends, your parents all help to establish certain mindsets and explanations. So let me give you one. My dad came to me and said, "You will never amount to anything." He said it both verbally and physically to me. And I believed him. I knew my dad loved me. I didn't have a bad childhood. I'm not suggesting that. But what I'm saying is I didn't believe I'd ever amount to anything. Every time I started to break into a new level, I would sabotage myself in my set point to keep myself in the same place because I had believed that I would never amount to anything. Many of us have certain things in our lives that are like that have to be broken to move into a new level. And so what happens is we find ourselves in mental discord. The word says one thing, but we've been taught another. And I'll show you the 5 things of your personal belief system later in this week, but I'm going to show you that there are certain things that are set up to hold us back. So James Allen said this: a plan consistently, persistently adhered to, good or bad, abundance or scarcity, will produce results in a person's life. So in other words, whatever plan that you have that you believe is true that you're working at, you will bring to pass. So cognitive dissonance is duplicity. It is having a double-mindedness. So that's what James 1:8 says. A double-minded man is unstable in all of his ways. That man should think he should receive what? Nothing from God. So I'm going to show you tonight that this is the main tool of the enemy, to create duplicity, to create double-mindedness, so that when you hear one thing, the enemy will orchestrate something opposite to create this double-mindedness in us to keep us from receiving from God. So how do I overcome that? Cognitive restructuring. So there are 2 ways. One is emotional implantation. It's like somebody yanking a chain, and all of a sudden it says, you say to yourself, I don't have to stay here any longer. God has something more for me. So in the body of Christ, it may be a touch from God, it may be a revelation, but what happens is that's not enough. There's a second element. It's called repetition. How long does it take to create a new habit? 21 days. Could be 30, 60, or 90, depending on the pain pleasure principle, but it's 21 days. And if we'll learn to do certain things that we're going to go through, we're going to show you how to create new heart beliefs that create new habits. Then, number 2, confession. Confession. How many of you have been taught on confession already in this church? All right? Now, let me show you some things. So here's what they've found out. So whether it's secular, whether it's public, whether it's affirmations, verbal affirmations, or whether you call it confession, they found that it only works about 10% of the time. And here's why. If you just confess a thing, even though it's the truth, it gets into your personal belief system 10%. But if you confess it with imagination, it gets in 55%. If you add emotion to it, it gets into your personal belief system 100%. We're going to show you how to do this. You learn to confess it, personal, present tense, and positive. So personal, I, present tense, am, positive. Because why? Your subconscious mind does not hear what's negative. Thirdly, consistency. How long does it take to create a new habit? 21 days. So we don't want to denature that. And lastly, conation. Conation says this. It means to pursue a thing. It's just a psychology term, to pursue a thing. But at its root, it means you can't stop me unless you kill me. Wow. There's a resolve on the inside of you. Now listen to me carefully. And I'm finished. Listen to me carefully. There's a difference between people who are interested in success and committed to success. People who are interested in success will do what's convenient. People who are committed to success will do what's necessary.